Coming up, the Flagstaff City Council says no to a controversial cell tower project. Plus, we have an inside look at the new high-tech 911 center in Winslow. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Cristiana Ramos.
And I'm Mitchell McKenzie. Thanks for tuning in. The Flagstaff City Council has rejected an appeal to build a proposed Verizon cell tower at a church off 4th Street in eastern Flagstaff.
The move comes after protests from area residents. Gilbert-based Pinnacle Consulting planned to build the tower for Verizon, but the project was rejected by the Planning and Zoning Commission. Pinnacle appealed the matter to the council, saying opponents misunderstood the risks involved. Area residents said they were concerned about the effects of radio waves in the proximity to a high-pressure gas line.
This is very important to all of our neighbors in our neighborhood.
So I have to conclude that they're more interested in business than they are in the truth.
After the San Francisco gas line explosion in February, I was concerned then, but now I'm terrified.
Dangerous with an interstate, aging gas pipeline.
There were a couple of residents affiliated with the church who were in favor of putting the tower in the neighborhood.
But in the end, the council voted last night to deny the appeal.
Flagstaff Mayor Coral Evans met with constituents at Miss Zip's restaurant today for an open conversation with the community. These Coffee with Coral events have been taking place since 2008 and provide a chance for citizens to get face time with the mayor to discuss city issues. Evans says they are a great opportunity for her as well.
It bubbles up different projects and other concerns that we might not get a chance to hear at council that's happening in our community. And it's not always just, negative things. It's also positive things and exciting things that's going on.
Some ideas that were brought up today include recycling, art projects, and more. Coffee with Coral is held every month at Miss Zip's.
The Prescott area has a new state representative. Steve Pierce, the Yavapai County Board of Supervisors, chose Pierce to replace David Stringer, who resigned under pressure amid reports that he was charged with sex crimes back in the 1980s. Pierce has served in the legislative before. He was president of the state senate back in 2012. He says he will complete Stringer's term but will not run for the seat in 2020.
A lawsuit involving a Grand Canyon restaurant and gluten has been moved to federal court. A Los Angeles artist sued Xanterra Parks and Resorts, claiming he was negligently served gluten. Todd Serlin says he suffered permanent injuries after eating French onion soup in a Canyon restaurant back in 2016 and is still feeling pain. Attorneys for the restaurant would not comment on the suit. Arizona Senators Kyrsten Sinema and Martha McSally are asking the Trump administration to transfer Customs and Border Protection agents to assist with other tasks on the border, rather than taking immigrants to holding centers. The senators argue that there is more of a need to monitor the flow of trade to keep drugs and other illegal items out of the U.S. They also say the move would strengthen the morale of border agents.
Well, a recent upgrade to the Winslow 911 system means that the small town may now have the most technologically advanced dispatch center in northeastern Arizona.
NAZ Today's Michaela Clark visited the center and now joins us live in the studio to tell us about the changes. Michaela?
The Winslow Police Dispatch Center was the first on Arizona's I-40 corridor to go live with the next generation 911 system back in June, which incorporates wireless internet and fiber optics into the 911 system, leaving the copper wire behind. It all starts with the ring of a phone.
Winslow Police Department, do you have an emergency? If they say yes, they do have an emergency, we'll go on through our checklist of what's going on, where it's at, who it's involved.
This time last year, the Winslow Dispatch Center was operating on old school telephone lines and DSL, and it was in the process of switching to a combination of fiber optics and wireless internet.
The information that we receive and send over 911 system, it was extremely limited. We could only receive so many telephone calls, we could only receive so much information.
Jones says the limitations of the old system became apparent nationwide during the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Many 911 systems crashed because they could only handle so much. The new system, called Next Generation 911, was designed to prevent that.
Picking up the wrong work phone, for
The Winslow dispatch system is made of 3 different elements: the telephone system, the radio system, and the computer-aided dispatch system.
Our computer-aided dispatch, which also handles our records management. That system, hands down, in my opinion, this is hands down probably the most technologically advanced.
In addition to the regular 911 calls, Winslow is now better prepared for a major emergency.
If we had to evacuate Winslow, essentially, in theory, what we can do is we could essentially move everything mobile. We could run our entire dispatch center off of a couple of tablets.
Advanced technology can make a big difference to a 911 system, but it's the dispatchers who do the real work.
Yeah, and did you say he's still not leaving you alone?
Winslow dispatchers get about 45 to 55,000 calls each year. 17,000 of those translate into service calls.
So answering a phone call, you're going to push this little red button that says priority answer. You push that and it's going to automatically connect the call once the phone rings. You have the ability to put them on hold and you can transfer them to different agencies.
The job can get stressful, especially when dealing with situations such as officer-involved shootings.
And in dispatch, you don't think how traumatic it could be on somebody that works in here because we didn't physically see it. But the things that we hear, we tend to make more graphic than what could have been happening, or they were that graphic and you're listening to it.
You just can't say enough about the people behind the job. It's the voice, it's the calming voice, it's the soothing voice, it's the comforting voice, it's the stern voice.
The Winslow Police Department has other upgrades in the works. They're transitioning their officers to tablets that can use a photo of a driver's license to run information on subjects instead of having to make radio calls. Michaela Clark, NAZ Today.
With the spring season starting, many people may be thinking about gardening, and one NAU professor, with the help of over 80 students, is building a sustainable greenhouse that will allow students to exercise their green thumbs without worrying about the harsh weather conditions that Flagstaff experiences. Joy Johnson has more on how this project all got started.
Assistant Professor of Earth and Sustainability Danielle Perry says that the greenhouse was started with multiple goals in mind.
One is to recruit and retain more Indigenous students into the STEM fields by using knowledge that is more familiar to them. Another purpose is so that the general class can learn about sustainable practices. And in this case, the greenhouse represents sustainable building practices that blend Indigenous building design with adobe and straw bale with Western engineering. It is a teaching facility to show that in a short amount of time, with very simple resources and not very expensive resources, people can build a greenhouse or they could build a home.
The greenhouse will not only benefit students, but also the community around them.
There will be some combination of students who are enrolled in the classes that are participating in this project will be allowed to take plant starts with them, but ideally we are contributing a lot of those plants to other community gardens so that we can help with this positive proliferation of community gardens.
Soon, students may be able to make suggestions for what to plant inside of the greenhouse, allowing the program to, well, grow.
And so each semester we'll add a new project so that the students in any class on campus can get involved.
Definitely utilize it because I like the ability to go out and do my own kind of thing. I mean, I know there's food at the Dube and the hotspot and stuff like that. There's healthy foods there, but being able to grab my own kind of stuff gives me a sense of control over what I'm eating.
Joy Johnson, NAZ Today.
For more information on how to become more involved with sustainability on NAU's campus, visit nau.edu/green-NAU.
It's Wednesday, which means it's time for another Athlete of the Week. This week we head to Northland Preparatory Academy to check on a multi-sport athlete who is wrapping up her high school sports career.
NAZ Today's Raj Galardi joins us in studio to tell us about this amazing athlete. Raj?
Senior Casey Auza is a real gem here in Flagstaff sports. She's extremely bright, balancing out her activities in 2 sports while maintaining a 3.9 GPA. But when she's on the softball field, she leads the way.
Well, I've been playing since I was in T-ball, so my dad kind of got Maggie and I into it,
This early family exposure to the game has helped NPA senior Casey Auza lead the Spartans to an overall record of 9-2 so far this season.
Sophomore year was a little rough for the team, same with junior year, but this year we're all really cohesive and we get along really well.
With the career batting average of .431 and over 100 runs scored, Auza is an offensive terror. But head coach Betty Dean sees more than just the runs she puts on the scoreboard.
Just her ability to be able to help direct the younger girls and help support them in terms of bringing them up to speed or making them feel comfortable about being on the team. Some of the girls don't have nearly the level of experience that Casey has because she's been playing both volleyball and softball. So she shows a really nice, quiet leadership.
As a two-sport athlete, Auza has learned how to be successful within different team structures, which has taught her that it takes more than athletic ability to glue a successful team together.
I really like to try and keep the team uplifted during games, even if we're down, trying to yell to the pitcher that it was a good pitch, even if the umpire doesn't call it. I just try to be really uplifting and positive.
While some athletes become set in their positions, Auza's game has no boundaries.
But one year my pitcher fell apart and I didn't have my second pitcher. And in the middle of the game I went, "Hey Case, do you mind getting on the mound and throwing a few?" She was like, "Sure." So hadn't warmed up, hadn't practiced, hadn't done anything, but she just stepped in and just threw the ball over the plate. So for me, that speaks to her versatility.
After this season, Auza looks to put away her softball gear and plans to explore a new kind of field.
I'm going to go to NAU, the NAU Honors College, and I'm going to study biology.
Casey Auza's encouraging attitude and dominance on the diamond solidifies her spot in this week's Athlete of the Week. These ladies are a must-see team right now, scoring 17 runs in each of their last 2 games. Currently, NPA is playing Red Rock down in Sedona, but if you want to see her in person, head out to their next home game next Tuesday against North Point Prep at 3:45 p.m. Raj Galardi, NAZ Today.
Coming up, possible help for parents whose kids have peanut allergies. Stay with us.
Good evening, Northern Arizona. Student forecaster Aiden Casey. So we had a nice weather today. Sun was in and out of the clouds all day, a little breezy. As you can see here, this is the cloud cover that's covering over the region today. And we're going to be having some ups and downs in temperature, but we're going to be having a big warming front coming up. And Lee's going to have more with you later in the program.
Terry Markson Cadillac realizes that bad things sometimes happen to good people. Many with good credit have experienced an unexpected blemish, but it's probably not as bad as you think. We offer guaranteed credit approval. So come in for a confidential credit report and let our finance specialists help you understand your options.
Hi, I'm Mark Harris, owner of Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac. I guarantee to beat anybody's price or you'll receive $500. Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac. No pressure, no hype.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Welcome back. Parents whose kids have peanut allergies are making sure camps and babysitters are aware of dietary restrictions because accidental exposure can be life-threatening. But a new treatment is in the works which may help alleviate that added stress. NAZ Today's Matthew Gonzalez has more in today's Health Minute.
A peanut powdered filled capsule could be the key to treating peanut allergies.
Gradually exposing people with allergies to allergens could reduce their risk of severe reaction. Researchers across 10 countries studied 551 participants with peanut allergies between age 4 and 55. Most, 496, were between ages 4 and 17. 3/4 of the participants received increasing doses of the experimental treatment. The rest received a placebo. Side effects pushed 11% of the participants to drop out of the study. After a year, each remaining participant took an exit challenge, eating the equivalent of 2 peanuts under a doctor's supervision. 2/3 of child participants tolerated the challenge without severe reaction. Half of those actually tolerated twice as much, a 4-peanut dose. 10% of children receiving treatment required an EpiPen during the exit challenge, as well as 53% of the placebo group. Experts warn this isn't a cure for allergies. Patients receiving treatment shouldn't expect to be able to eat whatever they want, but researchers believe increasing tolerance for peanuts can reduce the risk of severe reaction. For today's Health Minute, I'm Matthew Gonzalez.
I'm Rudy Tempesta. I'm 92 years old. I fought in World War II. Then I came home, worked for the post office for 70 years. I've been getting Meals on Wheels, and I enjoy it. The most important thing about Meals on Wheels is you meet the people, which to me is fantastic. You need people to keep your brain moving. That's what life is about. It's love and having a conversation with people.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Tonight's NAZ Today weather is brought to you in part by Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac in Flagstaff.
All right, a very typical spring day out there for us today. In fact, our high temperature right on average for this date, 55 degrees in Flagstaff today, a little above average on our early morning low. Everybody's temperatures very near normal for this time of year, 79 in Phoenix today. Sedona topped out at 68, Prescott 65. It was 58 at the south rim of the Grand Canyon. Kind of here in the mountain regions, clouds kind of, the sun in and out of the clouds. Here's some cumulus clouds out there, kind of fair weather, Simpsons type clouds. Notice all this higher cloud cover starting to filter in, some of that kind of wispy, thinner stuff streaming in off the Pacific. We're going to see that fill in here over the next 24 hours. All right, a look from the webcam not long ago, 52 degrees. Right now at Pullman Airport, breeze out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour, partly cloudy skies. All right, we switch it out to the Pacific, and as we've been talking about, what the forecast was for this week is kind of some ups and downs in temperature. Yesterday, we were at 58 under high pressure. A windy day, though, yesterday. Today, 55, breezy. Tomorrow, brief high pressure. Temperatures up a few degrees. Then we get into Friday and Saturday, a little weak cold front. Temperatures down a couple degrees. Then massive warming is in store for us. All right, here's some of this high cirrus clouds that I think are going to fill in here throughout the night tonight, and a partly to mostly cloudy day with some cirrus veil over us through the day tomorrow. though, but still a little bit warmer than where we were today. And then as we get into Friday and Saturday, some of this whole mass weather disturbance kind of moves in. We'll see some scattered, very light rain showers and even thunderstorms across northern Arizona. Not a big deal, very insignificant. Late weekend, high pressure and the warmest temperatures of the year going into next week. For tonight, 30 degrees, decreasing breeze out there, increasing high cirrus clouds. And for worse tomorrow, as I mentioned, I think we are under that veil of clouds. 57 degrees, our high temperature forecast tomorrow, just a couple degrees up from today. Really minimal movement with our temperatures, up to a couple degrees, down a couple degrees. Here's a look at temperatures tomorrow. Sedona 72, Payson 68, Winslow 73 degrees, a typically breezy April day out there. Friday, Saturday, still partly cloudy. Temperatures still hovering right around average. Put that chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm in there on Saturday. And then high pressure builds in. The warmest temperatures we've seen by next week. We'll be thinking about 70 here in Flagstaff.
Well, you know what, Lee, I'm just really excited. It's now springtime, and that means the weather is just getting so much nicer.
Yep, slowly but surely.
And that means more sports. Susie, what's going on in sports?
Well, Christiana, it is April, so that means that we are coming up with spring football. Stay with us. We'll be back after the break.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm your sports reporter, Susie Conran. NAU football is preparing for their annual spring football game on the 25th at 2 p.m. with a new coaching staff. Head coach Chris Ball is trying to prevent injuries from happening early by ensuring that Cookus gets his reps but does not get overworked. Moving to the other side of the field, senior linebacker Tristan Vance was applying solid pressure to the quarterback in several instances, showing he is ready for the game. Moving on to high school softball, the Flagstaff Eagles are getting ready to hit the road to take on the 2-9 Deer Valley Skyhawks tomorrow at 3:45 p.m. The Eagles have had a really strong season so far. They are currently on a 6-game winning streak and have an overall record of 10-7, sitting in 4th place in the Grand Canyon region. The Eagles have been showing their opponents that they are not an easy team to take on by averaging about 9 runs a game. Good luck to the Eagles as they continue their season. The Northland Prep Spartans are having a great season so far with an overall record of 9-2. The Spartans are on a 2-game winning streak and defeated the Red Rock Scorpions with a final score of 17-2. The Spartans are taking on the Scorpions again today at 3:45 p.m. Some key players to keep an eye out for are senior Megan Swinney with a batting average of .562, Junior Grace Vanesh with the highest on-base percentage for the Spartans of .634, and sophomore Natalie Hansen, who has not committed any errors on the field this season. Let's dive into baseball and check out what's going on with the Coconino Panthers. The Panthers lost their game against Mingus Union Matadors yesterday with a final score of 7-5. The Panthers are hitting the road to take on the Marauders today at 3:45 p.m. Coconino is ranked number 3 in the Grand Canyon region with a record of 8-10. The Marauders are ranked number 7 in the Grand Canyon region with a record of 4-9. Good luck to the Panthers as they face Mingus Union again. Continuing on with baseball, the Northland Prep Spartans are currently in 3rd place in the 2A Central region with an overall record of 7-4. Some Spartans to keep an eye out for this season are freshman Connor Barta with a batting average of .517, sophomore Chase Hamilton with 9 stolen bases, and sophomore Dawson Missick with the perfect fielding percentage. The Spartans take on the Valley Lutheran Flames on April 5th at 4 p.m. Good luck to the Spartans. Continuing on with baseball, let's see how the Diamondbacks are doing early in this season. This week, the Diamondbacks took on the San Diego Padres and won 2 of the 3 games in the series. Last night, the Padres came out swinging, scoring 2 runs in the 1st inning, but the Diamondbacks did not let them stop them. Zach Greinke not only dominated on the mound, but he also hit 2 home runs and a soloed home run, scoring to help the D-backs beat the Padres 8-5. Unfortunately, the Padres came out on top today, winning the game 4-1.
And Susie, it's not looking good for the it's not looking good for the D-backs. My apologies on how Jake Lamb, he slid into second base, and it's not looking good.
It's not. Hopefully they can kind of recuperate from this and come back strong and show us that, you know, we're here to have a good season.
Well, thanks for that, Susie.
All right, well, we're going to take another look at weather. Stay with us.
Is your family in need of more quality time together?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Nature is best enjoyed together. So bring the whole family to discover all the bonding and stress-reducing benefits parks and forests have to offer. Visit discovertheforest.org and trade in phone time for family time.
Birds, squirrels, chipmunks, grass, worms, bugs, trees, rocks, and other objects in nature cannot talk. If you'd like to have a conversation while visiting nature, you will need to bring humans along. We strongly recommend starting with your family.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. Why would you do that?
Probably okay isn't okay. Call a cab, a car, or a friend.
Good choice.
All right, we'll call it April-esque around here for the next several days. Partly cloudy, breezy, temperatures very near normal for this time of year. The first little heat wave of the season here. Late weekend goes into mid next week.
Well, thanks for that, Lee. And that's it from all of us here at NAZ Today. You can catch all of our content on naztoday.com. We'll see you all tomorrow. Good night.